Well, hello you lot. How's it going, guys? It is Matt here from Sophisticated Obsession, and today we are going to be doing something actually a little bit different because it's not Le Labo. So today we are going to be getting into the house of Nasomatto. Nasomatto is an Amsterdam-based brand. Now, the name Nasomatto, it is actually an Italian translation and it means crazy nose. Now, the brand creates fragrances to try and invoke sort of like memories or sensations and basically to give you a little bit more of a journey. So the perfumer behind, I think all of the perfumes in the line, Alessandro Gualtieri, I think is how you pronounce it. I might be wrong. Sorry if I have just butchered that name. So to start off this series, I think that it is only right that we go to the first fragrance that I actually got from this brand. So today I present to you Nasomatto Baraonda. Enjoy that? So this is Nasomatto's Baraonda. If you have not checked it out, have a little look at the video that I've just posted up there, which actually talks about all of the things that I got for my birthday back in July. Now, this is definitely one of the fragrances that I've had my eye on for a while. This bottle of perfume is part of the project Nasomatto. The fragrance encourages a raw taste sensation. It is the result of a quest to evoke the powerful and mighty whisper of the olfactory stirring, which magically rejoins the whole with the nothing. So I've been talking way too much. I think now all that is left to do is to then try this scent. Okay, so in the head notes, instantly, what you get is a boozy sensation. This is very sort of whiskey-y. It has a very boozy element here, but it is done in a classy way. You don't smell it and go, oh my God, I'm absolutely wavy. Like, you smell it and go, oh, that is really tasteful. That is like you've gone to a very nice soiree and you're in a very nice plush bar, rather than going out getting absolutely wrecked. There is a dusty kind of feel to this. It's a little bit parchment-esque. It's a little bit like wet cardboard, I think is probably the best way that I can describe it. Mixed with those really sort of luscious whiskey notes, that really combines into a beautiful scent. It's very woodsy, it's not overly powerful, and it's actually not overly masculine. There is a lot going on in here, and I like it. I can't quite put my finger on what there is in here, which I think is kind of a testament to how well this is blended. This is quite a thick scent that isn't overly dominant. It's not overly sweet, although that there are sweeter notes in here, but it's not going to get on your nerves. This is really the reason of why I then went out and bought more. I actually blind bought 2 other fragrances, which I never do. There is maybe deep down a muskiness that is going on in this scent. It's quite cozy. There also is a slight amount of floral, but it's very slight. I want to say it's maybe like a rosy sort of note, but what I would say is that that rosiness is kind of suppressed by all of the woodsy and boozy and musky elements that are kind of then on the top of this. Overall, for an opening, I am absolutely blown away by it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this for another half an hour so that it can then dry down into the mid notes. So guys, grab a cup of tea and I'll see you in 3. Okay, let's get into the mid notes. Now that this is kind of mellowed slightly, it's giving off more of a dusty type of feel. I kind of feel like this is like a really old-fashioned library, but a library that you can drink whiskey in? I mean, I don't know if those libraries exist. They should exist. They sound amazing. The muskiness is really starting to then come out in this, and it's starting to really sort of develop into more of a musky, boozy scent. The booziness is still here, but it's got sweeter, and now what we are getting is more of a vanillic type of undertone that is really starting to then take the precedence of this. Vanilla sometimes on my skin and to my nose can sometimes come across a little bit honeyfied, and this isn't honeyfied. This has still got a boozy quality at its heart, but there is more of a sweeter element that is then really driving the scent. And actually, I think that this is where the longevity is going to come from this scent. The woodiness, yeah, it's still there. It's still apparent. I think it's like a sandalwood type of smell. Could be wrong. I'm starting to get a little bit of ambrette coming through here. I think that that is what is maybe curving and dulling down the edges of this scent, and it's making it really well-bodied and rounded. Those musk notes just kind of tempers all of those real brash, heavy wood notes or whiskey notes. It kind of then just subdues it. It kind of just says to the wood notes, like, chill. Okay, so that is the mid notes. So now I'm gonna wait another hour so that we can get well into the base notes. Welcome back, guys. So it has been around about an hour since I sprayed this. This still has some of those boozy elements, but again, it's done in a really tasteful way. I have found that this has got sweeter on my skin, but I do not think that this is a gourmand fragrance. That cardboardy, dusty, kind of parchment feel is still there, and that is probably one of the reasons of why I love this scent, because I just feel like I could wear it anywhere. The muskiness is making this scent really balanced. It's making it really stable. The overall sort of boozy elements, I think they're not as apparent as what they were, but they're still there. And I think the reason behind that is because it's got a very, very decent foundation that it can kind of just rest on. The first time I smelt this, and actually the first time that I smelt anything by Nasomatto, I was like, the perfumer knows what he's doing. When I smell it, I'm like, yes, that is a very well constructed fragrance, and it really does smell like art. Okay, so those are the notes that I have then got to my nose and to my skin. So now let's get into my rating. First of all, let's come to the presentation. First of all, the cardboard box, which then has the gold lettering over it, I think just looks really classy. And also the look of this kind of matches the scent that I get with that sort of very classic cardboardy smell, and also then the gold that I kind of think is reminiscent to then like the gold elixir that you get in whiskey bottles. We then open up the box, and there we then have our fragrance that is then encased in like a little bit of foam so that it's not going anywhere, and also it's not going to get damaged. Also, a nice little touch which they have added is a Nasomatto travel cap. Now, that is an absolute genius touch so that you're not lugging around this rather obnoxious looking cap. That brings me on to the next point, which is this is a natural cork. I did say that this was obnoxious looking. I do think that it is. I think that it is a little excessive, but I do really like the looks of these bottles. The cap is natural cork, so every single fragrance that you are going to be getting is going to look slightly different because of the natural products that they have used for their caps. This is a 30ml bottle. Now I know what you're thinking, 30 mils, what? But there is a reason for that. This is an extract perfume, which means that this has a larger or a higher quantity of perfume oil in the fragrance itself. So therefore, you're not going to then need to spray as much onto your skin, but also this should last on your skin a little bit more than say the counterparts of eau de parfum or eau de toilette. Overall, I think that the design of the box and the bottle is absolutely beautiful, and so I've got no qualms whatsoever in giving it a point for its presentation. Next up, we come to the target audience. The target audience to this, I think, is very versatile. Personally, I think that the woodsiness and those whiskey notes, I think, are perfectly balanced for a man to wear this. However, I think that those musky notes and also the vanillic notes that come out later on into like the mid and certainly the bass notes, I think lends itself to be a little bit more effeminate. However, I do think that because this is a niche scent, I do think that this is more mature. Maybe people that are just starting to get into fragrancing, or maybe people that are maybe just starting to then dip their toe into niche fragrances. I do think that you would find this accessible, but maybe right from the get-go, it might be a little bit too much. However, I think that that is probably my only light criticism, so I'm gonna give it a point for its target audience. Next up, we come to the performance. I know that this is more of a personal sort of category, so I can only sort of go from what it does on my skin. Personally, I think that the projection is really good. I actually get picked up on this quite a bit, but at the same time, I don't think that it is overly obnoxious or it's gonna like smoke people out. I personally get around about 6 hours of good performance. Okay, by the end of those 6 hours, I would say that it is more of a skin scent. It's not really projecting that much, but even still, I think that that is pretty good. So I'm gonna give it a point for its performance. Next up, versatility. Although I think that this could be worn pretty much anywhere, I do think that there are maybe a couple of places that I think that this would excel in. First of all, the boozy nature, I think, lends itself to when you're going out. I personally wear boozy scents when I'm going to like either a restaurant or I'm going out for some drinks. Not that we can at the moment, but still, if I was able to, that would be where I'd be wearing this scent. I do think that this works quite nicely as a casual scent. However, it's a bit pricey to be just wearing just to go down to the shops in. The office wear, I think, personally, I don't think that it is too appropriate to wear this. I don't know, the last thing that you really want to be smelling of is like whiskey when you're in like a business setting. Not to say that I haven't worn this at work, I have. The final thing to the versatility is what season could you wear this? I think that this works perfectly for spring, certainly for autumn. This also works for winter as well. The only season that I think you are not going to get that much wear out of it would be summer. So I think that that is probably why I'm going to be giving it half a point for its versatility. And finally, we come to the uniqueness. I personally find that boozy scents, you've smelt one, you've smelt them all. And so I do think that this has kind of done itself a disservice because it is a boozy scent through and through. It is. However, the way in which that it is constructed is what I think sets this fragrance apart from other boozy scents. I do think that the construction and just the quality of how well this is blended is what sets this apart from the rest of the field. So, for that, yeah, screw it. Let's give it a point. So overall, that gives Baraonda a whopping 4.5 out of 5. That is an absolutely insane score. I don't think that I have actually given out those scores that many times, and this is wholeheartedly deserved of that amazing outcome. The way in which this is constructed is absolutely fantastic, and if you are like me, you like your boozy scents, this is just, it's a no-brainer basically. It's just do it, just do it. And that is everything. I hope that that has answered any questions that you have on this fragrance. As always, if you have not done so already, make sure that you show your appreciation and give this video the thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Also, check me out on Instagram to see what things I'm getting up to on a day-to-day basis. And if you have not done so already, hit that big subscribe button. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, whatever you are doing, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. See you later. Bye.